to editing. So the most basic thing that we can do is we can sort of like ramp up and ramp down our audio. So for instance, let's say I want to sort of like bring this in really slowly. Like it kind of does that already, but let's say I want to like fade it in a bit, or let's say you've like chopped something and you want to fade it in. So here, actually, you know what, let's do this. I'm gonna chop this video, like this audio, like right here, and you can chop it with your razor blade, just like you did before. Okay. So I'll get rid of this. And so let's say my video clip starts like this. But I want it to kind of fade in, right? So there's a bunch of different things that I can do. If you go to the effects panel, so if you find the effects panel, if you go to the editing tab, like if you arrange your space by editing, effects should be over here. And what we're going to look at is we're going to look at audio effects. We're going to look at audio effects and audio transitions.
You have to be clicked on your clip, though, right? Your audio clip. You have to be selected.
Yeah, you're going to select the audio clip, and then those are the effects that we'll add to the audio clip. Is anybody having trouble finding your effects panel?
I am.
So are you, if you go to the editing up at the top, if you go to editing, no, Photos, look where the mouse is.
This editing.
Yeah. Okay, and then if you look down here, it should be stored in this tab over here.
Oh yeah, it came back now.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just use this really simple crossfade. All right, so I'm in audio transitions, and we have a bunch of different crossfades, okay? So I'll start with this constant power one. So I'm just going to drag this and put it at the beginning of the clip, okay? And what's nice about these is you can kind of like manipulate them. So this crossfade, see how it kind of like fades in? The other ones will allow you to it'll sound slightly different. All right, and if you zoom in, you can make them bigger and smaller, like this, just by sort of hovering over the end. Okay, so now I have, and they'll sound slightly different, so you should experiment with them. Okay, so now I have this really nice, like, fade in to go with my little flag moment there, okay? And then I'll just show, so if you want to get rid of it, all you gotta do is just select it and delete it, okay? It's just an add-on to the actual piece in the timeline. It doesn't replace the timeline. So let's just try this other one. This is gonna be the exponential fade, okay? And again, if you just zoom in and select it, if you hover over the end, you can drag it, and they'll all sound like just slightly different. Okay, so that one starts a lot quieter and gets louder like quicker. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's how you can kind of fade in and out of audio, which will be really handy. And I might suggest that, you know, maybe at the beginning of your video or at the end. That's a really simple thing that you can do, okay? Now I'll show you how to fade in between two clips, and then I'll show you how to do effects on the clips, okay? So let's find a spot. I would say find a spot in your video where there's like a jump cut, something like that. Let me turn this down for a second. So I'm going to find the jump cut between, you know, this frame and this frame here. All right, and I want to find like the exact frame where that happens. Is it this way or this way?
To the right.
Thank you. Oh yeah, this is your video. Okay, so I'm gonna just cut my audio right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna select the. I'm just gonna move this out of the way for now. And I'm going to grab another piece of audio. I'll grab our fork friend here. And I'll do the same thing. I'm going to put it on another line so it doesn't overtake this piece of audio. Okay, so it's now down here below. And I can do the same thing that I did before, so I can make this bigger if I'd like, so I can see it a little better. Okay. And I'm going to unlink these. And I'll delete the video. Okay, so now I'm going to have this jump cut that kind of goes with the video. Okay, so we got to work on that audio a bit. Let me find some clinky sounds. Okay, so and here's where the audio waveforms will really help you, right? Because this one's gonna start right here, right? Like, see how there's nothing here? So this one's gonna start right here. So I'm gonna grab my razor blade tool, cut it there. I'll delete this, and then move this one over. Okay, so we'll just take a look at what this looks like or sounds like. Okay, but you know, maybe that works there because it is like a jump cut. Alex, there's like some nice serendipitous moments happening with the audio that I chose in your video. But let's say like we don't want that change to be like so abrupt, right? Like maybe you don't have like such a jump cut. Maybe you want to kind of blend them together. There's a really easy way that you can do that. If you go to Effects, you can use those crossfades in between clips as well, okay? So I can put it, I'll have to put this clip next to this one, so I'll just kind of cut this one so it's a little shorter. And I'm going to move it up because I want them to be right next to each other. And then I can put these audio transitions, I can put them on two clips, right? So see how it's sort of like hugging both clips? And I can make it as big as I want here. All right, so then what I'm doing now is I'm kind of fading one piece of audio into the other. Okay, so see how that sounds like way less jarring, right? It kind of has a bit of more of a relationship. And if you try it with the other ones, they'll all kind of sound a little bit different. So the constant power will sound a bit different. Okay, so see that? Like one kind of fades in while one's fading out. Yeah, Vitaly.
But why can't we just use the project, actually, the Premiere project, just because we can see the cuts of the video?
You absolutely can if that's
is it the part of the is it the part of the assignment just to like make the video then?
No, if it's easier for you to I'm gonna stop this video so